So I have once again watched another Horizon Forbidden West trailer in slow motion to pick out any easy to miss details or things that I think are interesting to talk about. Now, I really like the animation of this particular scene even though it only appears for a few seconds, because this NPC is seen cutting a sweet potato with his or her finger curling inwards. And this is the right way of cutting things in the kitchen. These minor details put into games is what makes a game immersive, and shows that the developers cared about the minor details in the game. But I point out this animation in particular because I have a reason to believe that this animation is going to appear in-game as we roam around the settlement, and not just some pre-rendered animation that is going to appear really nicely but only once in certain cutscenes. Now, if we watch carefully, it can be seen that this person is grabbing the sweet potato from a never-ending pile. That is, the item never disappears after being grabbed. Game developers do this all the time in cities or towns so that these unassuming NPCs in the background can perform an unending task over and over again.
Did I ever tell you the definition of
this nuts?
This is why I think that this NPC would appear in the settlement, in the background, cutting vegetables using the correct method. After seeing that immersive NPC animation that the developers seem to have put some thought into, here's one that seemed funny and odd to me. Why is this guy stroking a piece of metal or wood with a wooden mallet? If this is some kind of armor making technique that I did not know about, can someone tell me in the comments down below? Thank you. As we've seen in IGN's hands-on preview of the game, the Shield Weaver outfit is now out of power and is modified to augment range attacks. Aloy in this upcoming scene is shown in 3 different outfits of varying styles, while the narrator says,
To be ready for any situation.
I do hope that the situation don't just include combat situations and extend to also augment traversing, hunting, and gathering. Throughout most of the trailer, Aloy is seen with a spear on her back when walking around. This is seldom the case in the first game as pure melee build was not featured as a viable strategy, and in the second installment, the developers said that they wanted to change that and give the players more choices in terms of combat. I think that this would be a very welcoming addition to the game, as it would add some variety to the combat system that we already know and love. Here we see Aloy being handled the ammo of a Javelin thrower, which I will talk about later. Now here's a minor criticism. Although the overall facial animation seemed to have improved compared to the first game, it is still nowhere near perfect, as Aloy's eyes are staring into space when being handed the Javelin. The bow that Aloy is using here is the same style as the one used by some of Regala's rebels. Aloy's spear is seen flashing as it charges up as she's using it, and the level of charges is indicated by the purple rings around the override module, and it might be able to hold up to a maximum of 4 charges, as indicated by the vacant space here and in the next scene. I've also spotted what seems to be a small oversight by the developers in the same scene. Something that looks like a point of origin that always appears in 3D computer graphics softwares like Blender can be seen appearing for a few frames when Aloy attacks her opponent. My initial explanation is that this footage might have come from an old render during development. But what surprised me even more was after some digging around, I found that this also happens in one of the IGN's videos. And it appears exactly when Aloy pulls off this same maneuver. So I hope that this is just a minor error that the developer will fix before the game comes out. And if you look even closer at this scene, you will find that Aloy did not skip leg day. Although not very clearly, one of the enemy is seen riding what appears to be a machine other than the Claw Strider. With its flattened head and large eyes, I think that this machine is either the Bristleback or the Rollerback.
They see me rolling.
This means that we might not be limited to riding machines with horse-like physiques anymore. Personally, I would like to be able to ride a long leg and pretend that I'm playing Final Fantasy. During the scene, Aloy is seen using a different weapon that has yet to be showcased by the developers. This seemed like a cross between a bow and a sling, and it looks like a weapon that is suitable for a situation that calls for more mobility, like horseback riding. Next, we see that Aloy has done some upgrading to a Javelin thrower since she first got it, as the Javelin is now seen with more attachments on it. The Javelin's attachments are shown here as booster rockets of sorts that increase the power of the weapon. Although it was shown to break the sound barrier when the rockets are activated a second time in mid-air, I don't think that's quite physically possible. But the supersonic effect was probably added in order to make it seem cooler and also to emphasize the power of the Javelin thrower. Also, if 2 rockets could cause such a huge explosion, what kind of destructive capability would the Javelin have when there's 3 of them, as shown in the previous scene? Therefore, Aloy really shouldn't be staring into space when she's being handed such a dangerous weapon. In the following scene, the symbol of the Cauldron Sigma can be seen on the Slitherfang. And in the first game, these symbols would mean the respective cauldron that Aloy has to override before she can override said machine type. And we know that Aloy has already overridden Cauldron Sigma in the previous game, so it's very likely that Aloy's previously overridden cauldrons could have gone through a reset. And that's it, that's all the small details I can find while watching the trailer almost frame by frame. But before I end this video, here's a tiny announcement. Because my last video analyzing the story trailer for Horizon Forbidden West kinda blew up, well, not in a conventional sense, but at least for my channel it did really well. So I wanted to thank all of you for the support and also for the kind words and constructive criticism I've received. Originally, I wasn't going to make more videos around Horizon Forbidden West, the reason being that I do not currently own a PS5. Therefore, I'm not able to play the game once it's out, and make more content around the game. But the reason I made this video was not to keep on milking my own success. It's because I wanted to get the people that subscribe to see this announcement. So to the 3 of you that subscribed after watching my last video thinking that I will be doing more videos on Horizon Forbidden West, I am sorry. This is probably my last Horizon video in a while. So feel free to unsubscribe. No hard feelings, okay? And that's the end of the video. Tell me in the comments down below if I missed anything or made any mistakes. And I hope all of you have a wonderful day. See ya!